What's up, dudes? Blanter back again with another smoking hot video. Secret of the Mimic has just released, and with it came a whole lot of lore that recontextualizes the entire story we thought we knew. Obviously, not everyone's going to pick up on all this, it's a FNAF game, so in this video I'm going to give you some of the major lore points that drop within this game, which can hopefully serve as a good refresher or starting point for all you theorists out there. Obviously, note that nobody knows the FNAF lore completely except Scott himself, so if any of this doesn't line up with how you interpreted it, that's fine. Okay, let's start off with one of the ones that shocked me the most. Almost all the animatronics we knew were originally mascot costumes. This may seem obvious, but I'm not just talking about our main four of Chica, Foxy, Freddy, and Bonnie, though believe me they appear too. What I'm talking about goes far deeper than this. Almost every single animatronic that isn't a variant, like Funtime Freddy for example is a variant, is shown here. As animatronics as new as Monty and Roxy have their origins here. Roxy was originally part of Foxy's crew for a puppet show, and Monty was a country-looking guy with a jug. He's often also put next to a purple hippo, obviously a prototype Mr. Hippo, which could imply they were originally part of the same group. Along with this, we see old animatronic versions of Music Man and Big Top, who seems to be an older version of what will become DJ Music Man, and Moon makes his debut as this round, well, moon-shaped guy in the video game Moon.exe. Many of these newer animatronics can be sourced back to their origins at Murray's, which definitely changes a lot of things about the franchise. That's not the only thing that we have about the company's origins that was shocking, because as it turns out, Henry was not the one to create the designs for the main cast. The person who we know for a fact at least created Chica is Fiona, Edwin's wife, and Edwin turned her designs into costumes, and some Springlock suits. She originally was a lot more chubby and had more friends besides Mr. Cupcake, and it's not far-fetched to assume that Fiona could have made Bonnie, Foxy, and Freddy too by the way Edwin talks about her designs plural. But after she died, Fazbear took her designs, changed them, and then shifted them not just from mascot costumes to Springlock suits, but to full-on animatronics that could move on their own, which Edwin was not a fan of. We see the original layout of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a prototype of sorts below the factory. See, I know people were mad because of that Henry didn't create the original designs, but I don't think it takes away from his genius because he made the animatronics himself. We were never told that he made the designs for the animatronics. Plus, they look way different than they do in their animatronic form, so I don't know, I think it's fine. This changing of Fiona's work, obviously, like I said, after she died is not something Edwin was happy with, but who could have been the one to take advantage of Edwin like this, you may ask? Well, believe it or not, it seems to be William Afton. He saw Edwin was vulnerable, took advantage of that, and then flipped the script on what their original deal was. Because it seems the original deal was for Edwin to make them Springlock suits for the pizzeria, but they changed that last second to turn it into animatronics, which of course Henry designed, but William was the man behind the plan. So yeah, William's a pretty scummy guy and he always has been. It wasn't just after his kids died. Oh, but he offered Edwin to be in charge of Chica's party world, William Afton that is, but that never got off the ground, so yeah, well, not looking good for William fans. Hey guys, this segment's gonna sound different than the rest of the video because I'm actually re-recording it. I got some things wrong, I believe. So I'm going to try to give you the best explanation of what I really think happened. Just a heads up, that's why I sound a little different. Alright, these are interesting and all, but this next one, oh man, I don't even know how to describe this. After Fiona died, Edwin started using the Mimic to pretend to be his dead wife. This was hard for me to get at first, but the original Mimic 1 program worked. It was a program either being his wife or more likely filling the role of his wife. It's unclear. This Fiona or Mimic 1, again not sure if it's actually her, tried convincing Edwin to try and make another Mimic for David, which he did. This M2, Mimic 2, is the endoskeleton that follows us around. This is the one that got beat and was mimicking David. Not the original one, that was just the Fiona. Sometime later, it seems that Fiona was turned into a machine that resembles Mexis. Whether it actually is Mexis is unclear. Either that or she was uploaded onto it. Personally, I believe this is the cradle they were talking about that could keep David safe. A machine that holds Fiona. In the good ending of the game, it's Fiona that makes the Mimic docile, while it pretends to be David. Now, is Mexis from Rue and Fiona? Again, not sure, but personally I think it makes sense. she could be the one to keep the Mimic at bay. She controls the machinery at Murray's, and Mexis controls the digital security of the Pizzaplex. It adds up. Hopefully this makes some semblance of sense, because it took me a while to understand too, so don't worry. Now we're really getting into theory territory. Note this next part is not confirmed in the slightest, and this is just my 2 cents on it. What in the world is the Tiger Rock suit? A hallucinogenic tiger suit that appears and disappears throughout the game, teleporting around, giggling like a child and sounding eerily similar to Edwin's son David. Well, while this isn't confirmed by any means, I'm willing to bet this is David possessing the suit or something like that. Note this is the earliest game in the franchise, 1979, so the whole ghost children thing is still completely on the table. And that's what I think is going on. The fact that it only sounds like David and not switched to anything else like the Mimic tends to do, kind of implies that it's not the Mimic, because when it is the Mimic, we hear it change voices, right? And this is only David, like we never hear it sound like anything else, and most of the time it's just giggling. Plus, the giggling reminds me of that old FNAF days, and the ghostly hallucination type appearance makes me definitely believe this is David. Finally, what happened to Edwin? Well, in this final tape, we see that Edwin was dying, reaching out to the Mimic for help, apologizing for lashing out on it, which of course the Mimic saw. But the Mimic just ignores him by copying how he used to ignore Fiona and David. Of course, the Mimic saw that too, so he was copying it. He was repairing himself, talking about his new legs, while Edwin was talking about how he couldn't feel them. It sounds like the Mimic ripped off Edwin's legs. From this tape, it seems to reason that Edwin was killed by the Mimic soon after he beat it up. Okay, before I end this video, I want to give a small side tangent. Guys, give the lore time to settle, please. I've seen so many immediate complaints about how Henry was character assassinated and Edwin is a plot device, and this thing about Henry and William getting their stuff from Edwin's ruins the lore and all that. But guys, it's been like a day. Please just give it some time. It's not clear that it's not even completely clear that that's what happened, right? Like I said, I personally believe it was a mutual deal. Henry still made those animatronics. He changed their designs. What happened was William flipped the script on Edwin at the last moment. That's what I believe happened. I don't think Henry's character was assassinated. Just please give it time to settle before you make your brash reactions, okay? Give Steelwool some time. Give the theorists some time. Okay? Okay. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. Obviously I didn't cover anything, but these are the main things I thought were worth mentioning. Hopefully this helped you understand the game more, and if it did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. This could be my new favorite FNAF game, or at least tied with Ruin. Oh, and let me know if you like the new intro line. I might be using that, because, you know, a lot of popular YouTubers have that, and I thought, you know what, it might be cool to have one of my own. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one, hopefully. Bye.